a lot of POC people are scared of coming here because people over there do hurl abuse. I've seen loads of hijabi women being scared to walk up here, so they've had to go around a long way. And I think coming here,
I can actually see a couple Asians and black people on the side of the right. So if it was, I'm confused. If they were hurling abuse, don't you think those people would have been abused by now?
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright.
Yo guys, it's your boy again, Shae, the one and the only. And today guys, we'll be watching a video that reveals the left's logic. This is real, this is raw, and this was hosted by a black British lady called BasedandBougie. Let's get this started, guys.
Why are there never no ethnic people here? Why is it always the white people protesting for other people's rights? If racism was such a serious issue, we would see them out here, don't you think? In their country, someone who's queer or trans will actually be hung. How do you feel that that's their mentality and you're defending them?
I was told that with my flag I couldn't be near the Novotel in case it affects their business.
Racism did you guys hear from the opposing side, which is the right?
I mean, to be fair, we didn't really hear them specifically. Now we didn't hear them say anything.
How come they don't go to their neighboring countries? Like, how are they making a journey so far up to Europe? Do you have that?
The British flag, if you speak of that, it has got the most powerful symbol in the world on it, which is the cross. And this agenda is very much anti-Christian.
What?
Is the hotel, guys? It's been barricaded because the migrants are more important. So you're here standing up against racism.
Yes.
So would you say the people with the Union Jacks are racist?
I'd say that there is a system in place which encourages this kind of them and us mentality. It may be that they are racist, it might be that they're not, and that they are genuinely affected by some of the things that they do try to talk about. And one of the things that we do find in the modern day is that we're losing a lot of the nuance in these things. But we're here just standing up against the people who are trying to do harm to, people who are refugees, people who are LGBTQ, etc., etc.
Do you know why the protest initially started, like 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, sorry.
Yes. So there is one person who has been arrested for sexual violence against a minor.
Was he a immigrant or refugee or just an average person?
He was one of the refugees who was staying at one of the places up near Epping, I believe. However, that does not paint all refugees as criminals.
Did you hear them say all refugees?
Who?
The people on the opposing side.
I haven't heard very much.
You haven't heard it. Okay, I'm not going to be quick to judge. I'm not going to call this blind activism just yet.
So do you feel like it's justifiable to protest against the person who assaulted that little child, or do you think it's wrong for them to do that?
I feel that painting an entire group as bad because of the actions of one person would have them all turning against each other instantly.
Yeah. Just one question though, because I did interview people on the other side, and they also felt like you guys are kind of demonizing them to be neo-Nazi racist. So what you just said about calling everyone else, calling all refugees racist, they also feel as though you are calling every single person who just wants to preserve their safety in the UK as neo-Nazis, when really they just want the safety of children. Is that a fair argument, would you say?
I think that if you look at the history of every single movement that has used children, that has used protection of women and children as the ideological driving point, you will see that they've actually done more harm to women and children than anything else.
What are you saying, man? What are you saying? What is he saying?
I love the memes in between. What is he saying? Has he listened to himself? I mean, Logic just left the chat. Like, Logic just said, adios, guys. Goodbye, guys. Oh, it's time. I'm off duty. I went out the window.
In what way?
So if you look at
He's looking for a way of escape. Sorry, no escape, mate. Answer that question.
Everything except for the seatbelt introduction. There have been minority groups who have been adversely affected by this being applied unequally. I do have a lot of reading material I can give you if you wish.
Just one last question. How do you feel that a lot of the refugees that you are defending right now actually don't believe in LGBTQ and trans and queer, and actually in their country, someone who's queer or trans will actually be hung? How do you feel that that's their mentality and you're defending them?
As a queer trans person, I think both bad. But that doesn't mean that their rights should be taken away. We need to be very aware of it's all a system of exploitation and oppression.
Man, shut your...
And we are all subject to this. Every single one of us.
But if you was to be in, say, for example, Syria or Libya, you would be oppressed. So do you think that maybe the English is justifiable for them to protest against people coming in who may be against people like yourself who are queer and LGBTQ? Do you think that's justifiable?
I think that England has had a long history of welcoming very diverse groups. No worries. A long history of welcoming very diverse groups. That we are the great melting pot. And that, yes, if I were to go over there, I may well be subject to discrimination and hanging, etc., etc. However, over here, that doesn't mean that we should do that to them.
What's love?
Yo. Okay.
So basically, you're here with your...
The left's logic is unmatched. Unmatched.
Stop the far right side, and you're basically standing up against racism. So do you believe the people across the street holding the English flag are racist?
Yes. In short, yes, I do. I think the England they're standing for is not what England should stand for.
Sorry if you stand back. Yeah. So what exactly did they say that was racist that you would deem?
Well, my flatmate heard last night the peace slur thrown around a lot just on the street. They hurl abuse at specifically POC people. I think actions like that in itself are racist.
What type of abuse did they hurl?
So there were a few.
You could do so.
Were a few delivery drivers that they tried to physically attack before the police stopped them, who were coming into the hotel and coming out of the hotel. They called people lots of names. They called me a cunt in my own flat. They hurl abuse at multiple people who try and say they think their opinion's wrong in any sort of way. And the fact that they're here today, I think, is just racist in itself.
From my understanding, this protest initially started because a migrant actually tried to assault a child in Epping. So do you think they have a right to protest for children and the protection of children?
I think protesting for children's safety as itself is a justifiable reason, but I think this goes beyond it. Children's safety as a whole should be protected. Women's safety as a whole should be protected. But if you look at other numbers, POC women, POC children, they are also attacked on a higher scale.
Okay, ChatGPT 2023 statistics. Most recent detailed breakdown of female victims of sexual offences by self-defined ethnicity. White British 3,675 victims. Pakistani 318, any other Asian background 76, Black African 82, Black Caribbean 54, mixed white Asian 60. Other categories, tens of victims each. North State Tenor recorded 2,712, a significant portion. Total female sexual assault victims 7,419, of which you can see the demographic that have been attacked the most. Makes sense for them to go out to protest, isn't it?
And just because one person from a certain group attacks someone does not mean everyone in that group is going to attack someone.
What about the argument that immigration is making the country very, very difficult to live in? Because obviously this country is already packed and we're all struggling financially. So to keep importing people in the millions, don't you think that's a fair argument that they should try to balance out the number of people coming in rather than allowing millions to come in?
Balancing, I suppose, could be taken into account, but this country is built on immigration. It's built on the Windrush generation who came in after World War II. If you go to Brick Lane is built on the Bangladeshi community. It is built on their community that thrived in Brick Lane. The UK would be nothing without immigration.
But the thing is that yes, migrants helped build it, but the foundation is actually British English culture. So don't you think the English have a right to want to preserve that and not want to see it eradicated? For example, where I'm from Congo, and we're having a huge influx of Chinese people coming in, trying to change the culture, trying to change the language, and we don't want that. We want to preserve our Congolese culture. Shouldn't the English also want to preserve their English language, culture, traditions?
Well, I think historically that's not 100% correct. Unless you can prove you were here before the Romans, before the Anglo-Saxons, before the Vikings, then you are Germanic, you are Roman, you are Nordic. You come from that culture. That culture made English culture. It's an amalgamation of Germanic culture, Nordic culture, Roman culture, which made English culture, but it's still an amalgamation of all different ones.
Oh my God, just shut up, please, just shut up already. Like, how am I literally hearing people say this a lot every time? Like, generally, at first it was funny, but now it's becoming cringe, now it's becoming too cringe.
So I think English culture has always been about immigration and will always be about immigration. So I think it's about helping people who come from war-torn countries to assimilate into the UK, to get education, to get healthcare.
Universal credit recipients by immigration status, June 2020. So according to official figures from the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, proportion of claimants not UK or Irish citizens, that is foreign nationals, 15.6% or approximately 1.23 million people.
To get housing, to be able to give back to the place that they've come, instead of being put in hotels and abused by public.
And just another, why do you think the migrants don't go to their neighbouring countries? For example, if I was escaping a war-torn country, I might go Scotland or Ireland because it's close by, but they make such harsh journeys through, the ocean all the way to the UK. How is that possible that they're making those harsh journeys in the millions and surviving? And why aren't they going to their neighboring countries like Dubai and Qatar and Kuwait?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons that people have left, and a lot of these countries neighboring them may have a problem that they've left. So if someone's left because they're LGBTQ, they can't go to Dubai because it's still technically illegal there. And I think the UK has essentially quite good PR.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So I think we're seen as almost a utopia compared to a war-torn country. I mean, we're not. We have a lot of problems. But I think compared to what they're going through, they see the UK as an escape. And I think it's perpetuated because people keep coming here. And I think it's almost like, oh, if you want to escape, you should go to the UK because they do help you to an extent.
Also, one question, I did count the number of people here. There's always more white people at these events than they are actually ethnic people. So I'm quite confused to why there never no ethnic people here. Why is it always the white people protesting for other people's rights? If racism was such a serious issue, we would see them out here, don't you think?
I have noticed there are a lot of white people, including myself.
Oh my God, her questions are so very spot on.
I'm very privileged to be here. I think a lot of POC people are scared of coming here because people over there do hurl abuse. I've seen loads of hijabi women being scared to walk up here, so they've had to go around a long way. And I think coming here,
I can actually see a couple Asians and black people on the side of the right. So if it was I'm confused. If they were hurling abuse, don't you think those people would have been abused by now?
I'm gonna clap for her. I was there about 2 weeks ago, and there were Asians. Now, when I say Asians, I'm not even talking about British Asians. I'm talking about Asians that came from Asia to the UK. You can hear the accent. They were there protesting on the side of the right, the so-called far right. And they were fine. No one was hurling abuses at them. They were all good. I was there, and they were calling me brother. Hey, brother, brother. I was asking questions. I would say, hey, bro, how you doing? How you doing, Shae? We watch your channel. And I would like the fact that, you know, you're about the facts, the truth, the logic. Really appreciate it, There was no abuse. So, yeah. You've been caught red-handed, purple-haired.
But they share their opinion, so they will accept them to an extent if they agree with their opinion. But if they say that they don't, then they're going to hurl racist abuse.
Thank you so much for that, guys. I'm on the side of the lefty, and so many of them are refusing interviews. I'm not really sure why you would refuse an interview. I mean, if you can scream out loud for the top of your lungs,
yes,
then surely you should be able to interview. But let's try and grab someone else. So why are you here today?
I'm here today to protest against racism, fascism.
And basically, are you saying the people waving the English flag are racist?
What they're saying right now, yeah.
So what did they say that was racist?
What they're protesting right now, being out here on that side, is racism itself. They are protesting against people, refugees, who just come here, and that's racist, and that's just racism right there.
But what exactly did you hear them say that was racism?
I can't hear them.
You can't hear them. You can't hear them. But you're just sure that what they're saying is racist. But you can't hear them. Blimey. Okay. You can read their minds then.
But I can hear holding ready flags. I can't hear them because of how much noise is on the side. But seeing the flags that they are holding,
the British flag,
and the Israeli flag.
Okay, yeah.
The British and the Israeli flag makes them racist. Sister.
And also when there was talks earlier, people just being just saying on this side, just refugees are welcome here. They were shouting, they were just talking over, all of that. And I think that just kind of shows the type of people that they are.
Why do you think they're against refugees?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't know why they are against refugees. That's just something you need to ask them yourself. Because I can't get in that mindset to try and understand their point of view. So I just generally, I can't answer that question.
Don't know.
Prior to actually interviewing you, I interviewed them on their side just to get an unbiased opinion. And the reason why they are protesting against refugees is because, one, the country is just becoming a bit too full, and it's becoming economically more difficult to live whilst we keep importing people in the millions. Do you think that's a fair argument that we shouldn't import?
Most of these people in the millions are white people.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
No, they're actually Syrian, Afghanistani, and Eritrean. So whether they were white, whether they were black, Indian, at the end of the day, London is a small town, and to import people on the millions, do you think that that's a fair argument, that it's just making life more stressful and expensive for us?
Honestly, no. I've lived in London my entire life. I've lived in a very multicultural environment my entire life, right? And I just can't get with this type of talking.
Don't you think they have a right to protest against the protection of children, for the protection of children?
But that's what I don't see any signs saying protect children.
It says stand up to racism, sexist, fascist, and
stand up for children.
Okay, but I have seen signs online of them saying protect children.
The thing also with that, it's just that they can also rape, they can also hurt. There's statistics that say they can hurt and they can.
But why are they in the wrong for protesting against migrants assaulting children?
Protest against everyone who hurts children. Don't protest against a specific group of people. The majority, when I say is wrong, I'm not saying men who rape Men on the most who rape, right? But women can rape as well. When I say it's wrong, I'm not talking just about men. I'm talking about everyone.
So if, for example, white English people were making up the majority of, would that be okay to protest against?
Yeah, protesting against rape. Protesting against specifically white people who rape. That's wrong. Protesting against directly towards white people who rape. That's wrong. Protesting against all.
But what if they're making up the majority? Wouldn't they? You think there's a problem within their culture, and we should like try to stop that?
I think no, because it just depends on how much of these people are in the country,
and that's why
I don't think that we should again say, oh, where the majority of you do, so protest white people.
But what if the statistics say that they are making up the majority?
Then I still don't think it's right. I still don't think it's right to protest white people specifically. You know, I think we should talk about about specifically what is going on, and we should protest. You know.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So you guys are here protesting to stop.
So, if there's a problem, you should leave out certain aspects of it so you sound politically correct. So, saying half-truths is okay. So long as you don't sound bad, you don't sound racist.
All right, so you guys are here protesting to stand up against racism, is that correct?
Yeah.
So what racism did you guys hear from the opposing side, which is the right?
I mean, to be fair, we didn't really hear them specifically now. We didn't hear them say anything because we were quite loud.
Yeah.
I think the reason that we wanted to come is because there's a lot of racist rhetoric, I think, online. Like, a lot of people, I think, are getting more comfortable with using, like, racist terms. We went to a protest last weekend where some of the people we were protesting against were doing Nazi salutes as well, which I thought was...
Yeah.
That's so disgusting. That's so disgusting. Do you know why the protest initially started?
I think it's because...
The ones today?
Yeah, well, this protest has been going on for weeks, but do you know why it initially started?
Because there was a... report that was released about a crime committed by migrants who were staying in a hotel in the UK, from what I've heard, and it brought a lot of people out to protest against migrants staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
I think people should be arrested for committing crimes, but I don't think that that means that refugees shouldn't be allowed a safe place of refuge.
Yeah.
I just don't think that you can cast everyone under the same cloth.
Do you think they casted everyone under the same cloth?
I would say by saying, like, no migrants and no refugees at all, because some of them commit crimes, is casting everyone under the same cloth.
What about the argument that economically it's becoming very difficult to manage the millions of people coming in? Obviously, we already have like a NHS issue. We already had so many economic issues. It's just becoming harder financially. And then to add more millions of people into the country, do you think that's a fair argument that economically it may not be working?
I would say there's many sectors where actually like reducing immigration and migration for those sectors is having a negative impact on the economy. Like, for example, the NHS, for example, like the social care industries and like nursing homes and stuff like that. There's been a massive decrease in the workforce.
Also, currently 0.2% of our budget is spent on foreign aid, and a quarter, it could be a half, is spent on migrants. If you took the money that we spend on migrants, I don't think it would make a drastic change. Like, we've already cut down the amount we're spending on refugee care by quite a lot.
And how do you...
In 2023 to 2024 period, asylum support alone cost 4.7 billion, including about 3 billion spent on hotel accommodation for asylum seekers.
And how do you feel about the argument that the people on the right want to preserve their English culture? So they feel like the English British culture is being eradicated in this country. Do you think that's a fair argument, or do you think that's racist? And may I ask you, are you guys English or...
Yeah, we're English.
Yeah, we're English.
Do you think there's a fair argument for them to want to preserve? Because apparently 1 million people in the country don't speak English. So how could we economically thrive if we're not all speaking the same language? So do you think that's a fair argument that your culture would want to be preserved?
I think it's fair to want your culture to be preserved, but I don't think I have not experienced anyone telling me that I can't be English.
Yeah.
Or
did you see the article of the young girl who got sent home from school because she wore the Union Jack dress?
I saw that. I have obviously heard a mix of things about it from lots of different sources, about a potentially...
I've just come from interviewing people on the left, and they basically said that the English flag is a racist flag and stands for bigotry and racism and Nazism. Do you agree with that?
No.
I don't. Did they say why?
They didn't actually say why. They just kept saying this is racism, this is racism. And I even tried to ask them, if this is such racism, why are you here? Why haven't you gone to a country that's less racist? And they couldn't give a straight answer. So why do you think there's this attack on Britishness?
I don't really know, and it frustrates me. I feel like I'm so proud to be like British and to be English, and I feel like we are one of the most welcoming countries, and I just don't understand why we're, especially in London, it is so diverse, and everyone has been able to, who comes over here and works hard, you know, they get a great life.
Yes.
It's all about what you work for. So I don't know why there has been this turn against English flag, and people would say that I'm far right for holding a flag. So yeah, I don't understand it, and I'd love to know what they think, but they never really give a good answer, do they?
I don't think they understand that they're literally protesting their own demise. Like, once we eradicate British and English values, we're basically it. And I also ask you, how come everyone has been pinned to this side? Do you know what happened?
I don't really know. I came out over there and I was told that with my flag I couldn't be near the Novotel in case it like affects their business. So I was pushed down here, which like I appreciate. I suppose hotel guests maybe don't want this when they come to London. But it's, you know, it's the reality of London at the moment. Like, we need to make like global awareness of this issue.
Thank you so much. All right, you're out here today, literally outside Britannia Hotel. Why is that?
Well, we've had tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of children in Britain, and it's not tolerable. So I'm here to say I stand against that, and we have to protect our children. We spend a lot of trouble protecting the gold in the Bank of England, and that gold has never been touched, never been stolen, ever. And I think that our children are greater treasures than that gold. And so I think that we ought to be protecting them. And frankly, I'm outraged that we are not.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think these people are so delusional to the point where they will refuse to protect these children? Why they're refusing to protect the children?
Well, I think they're going to start because people are increasingly aware of the crimes that have happened.
Yeah.
Of course, the government is criminal. The government is abetting this. The government is intentional in everything that it has done, and it is bullying people, calling them names, and that's intimidating. But I think the tide has turned, and enough is enough. People are saying no.
So when I was asking, so I interviewed people on the left, and I asked them, why are these people racist? And they said they're racist because they're holding the English flag. So now the English flag has become racist. I'm not sure if you're aware of the young girl that got kicked out of school for wearing the Union Jack dress. Yes. Why do you think there's this attack on Britishness?
Well, the British flag, if you speak of that, it has got the most powerful symbol in the world on it, which is the cross. And this agenda is very much anti-Christian. And so necessarily they're going to be attacking the flag as a symbol of that.
Yeah. And another thing that was so hilarious is that a lot of people that were protesting, they're defending people that would actually hang them. So they were defending people that would actually hang them and kill them for being queer, for being gay. So the hypocrisy of these people, can you like?
It's inexplicable, but I don't know if these people are real. I don't get it. Children are being, and so
it's not up for debate.
It's not exactly. It's no discussion, no tolerance. Period.
Exactly. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just got back from the protest, and all I have to
Wow.
say is two things. The first thing is that a lot of these leftists are absolute lunatics. They have no idea that they are literally protesting for their own demise. Another thing I noticed that was a bit shocking to me, that a lot of people on the right didn't really want to do interviews. A lot of people on the right had their faces covered and masked up. I think they're doing that because they know if they try to speak up or try to be, very boisterous and
They'll
loud
get
about their
arrested.
views, they probably will get arrested.
True.
I mean, come on, man, we're seeing people.
That's very true. If you're on the right and you answer questions, you show your face, you voice your view, you voice your views, you're getting arrested. I mean, like, let's say 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3 would get arrested.
People like Lucy Connolly getting arrested for tweets. So you can see that a lot of British people are becoming very, very fearful of even showing their identity. I really, really did try to get interviews from people on the right just to hear their point of view. And I felt like fear was kind of stopping them.
Yeah.
And I could understand it, because we are living in a very scary times where people are literally
is.
being arrested for tweets and just for having an opinion. But at the same time, it's like, if we continue to silence ourselves, how is the problem or the issue going to be resolved? So yeah, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys want more videos like this. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Boom. Well done. Wow, amazing video. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I couldn't have asked the questions better myself. Absolutely enjoyed this one. Okay, like, she was bold, she was knowledgeable, she asked the very right questions. A lot of people on the left, they couldn't even answer, they couldn't even understand why you were protesting. I'm telling you, the logic is almost dead. Like, the left's logic, I don't know what to call it, completely unmatched. Their logic is just different. I'm telling you, it's just different. Without common sense, nonsense thrives. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, definitely educative and informational video. Okay, and what I'm going to tell you guys here, like, what I would like to do with you is, before you participate in any movement, before you become an activist, all right, make sure you know what you're fighting for. Make sure you understand it. All right, do not run with half-baked truths. Do your research, understand what is going on first. Okay, check it. All right, check and balances. Check it, balance the information. I know what you're on. All right, I know what's on. Okay, don't just run around, like a headless chicken, just trying to fight because it's popular. All right, just trying to protest because, well, that's the in thing, it's trending. No, knowledge, common sense, please. All right, thank you, please. All right, guys, it's been your boy Shae, the one and only. I'm going to catch you next one. BasedandBougie, love.
Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way. You are me. Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way.